Hello, everybody, and welcome to a new game news roundup. We've got some next generation news regarding the PlayStation 6, or not really news, nothing official, obviously, yet, but a rumor, a report from Insider Gaming, who was heard from several sources. Insider Gaming did, I believe, originally leak the PlayStation 5 with detachable disk drive. The new report that Sony will be doing the same thing with the PlayStation 6, like they did with the PS5 Slim. The PS6 will have two models, a digital edition version without a disk drive, and a model with a detachable disk drive, just like the PS5 Slim. So if you buy the digital edition, you can in the future, if you want to, buy a separate disk drive that can be attached to your console. So yeah, the PlayStation 6 will reportedly have a model that comes with a detachable disk drive at launch, just be available at launch, according to several sources that spoke with Insider Gaming. The PlayStation 5 Slim, which introduced a detachable disk drive, which let users who purchased the digital edition to buy a disk drive later on. The sources, who remained anonymous, as they're not allowed to talk about Sony's next generation plans, of course, claim the PS6 console will be available with two models. This includes a digital model and a model that includes a detachable disk drive. Detachable disk drive will also be available to purchase separately for those who purchase the digital edition model. And specifically, one source out of the multiple, just one source, claims PlayStation is firm on its decision with the detachable disk drive for the PS6, as the system for the PS5 Slim hit all of Sony's internal targets. This was done. The detachable disk drive was done to reduce manufacturing and shipping costs during uncertain times. You know, the economy, basically. What's going on with the economy? How's the economy? Is it doing good? Is it doing bad? But anyway, to reduce costs to increase profits, or if you're selling console at a loss, you're selling it at less of a loss, and you have to sell fewer games to turn that into a profit, or PlayStation Plus, etc. Or accessories. So yeah, the PS6, due to these uncertain times, will have a simpler design than the PS5. That's right, the PS5, which a lot of people call like, hey, kind of looks like a router or something or other. Apparently, the PS6 rumored, according to this, will have a simpler design than the PS5, which is done in order to maximize efficiency, shipping space, weight, and so on. Basically, a simpler design to reduce costs and increase profits, or reduce the amount of losses for each console sold. So you got to sell less games, accessories, controllers, PlayStation Plus memberships, whatever, to turn that into a profit. Because generally speaking, Sony and Microsoft, when they release a console, they sell it at a loss. And then that's turned into a profit when those people who buy a console buy games, or subscribe to PlayStation Plus, buy more controllers, etc., etc. So yeah, that's mainly it. I just wanted to cover this relatively quickly. It seemed important because we're talking about the PlayStation 6. And if you're... I know it feels like the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S consoles just came out not that long ago, but in reality, it's 2025. They're going to hit 5 years old in a couple of months. And generally speaking, console generations are about 7-ish years, maybe 8 years between one generation to when the next generation console comes out. And yes, Sony did release the PS5 Pro, I believe, what was it, last November. So we'll also, the real question mark is, how much is this going to cost? Considering the PS5 price just increased here in the US, I know it's increased other parts of the world sooner and more. But in the US, the price went up to $500 for the digital edition, $550 for the disc drive model, and $750 for the PS5 Pro. And then you think, okay, if they're going to release a next generation console, they have to be at least somewhat more powerful than the PS5 Pro. How much does that mean it's going to cost? I mean, sure, you have a digital edition, and I'm sure with a 1 terabyte SSD compared to the PS5 Pro, which comes with a 2 terabyte SSD, but it's a digital model. So I don't know. Are they going to see, can they hit $500? I don't know how things are going right now, but you never know how things go. The PS6, probably the earliest we're going to see it is holiday 2027. Might be 2020. Maybe Sony will hold off and release it in 2028. Honestly, we don't know. It's just rumors and stuff going on about the next generation at the moment. There's also a rumor that potentially Sony's going to release a hybrid, kind of like the Nintendo Switch, which have the power more like a PS5 versus, say, a PS6, obviously, to keep prices down, considering the Switch 2 spec-wise, is more similar to a PS4 than it is to a PS5. Also, I did mention this in a video last week, I believe. A very reliable leaker, Bill Kun, who's been, well, probably one of the most reliable leakers out there, has spotted that Sony is going to decrease the size of the SSD in the PS5 Digital Edition in at least Europe. It's only been so far spotted in Europe. It hasn't been spotted in the US or anywhere else yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if this comes to other regions outside of Europe. The current PS5 Digital Edition comes with a 1TB SSD, but the leaker is claiming a new version that comes with a smaller SSD of 825 gigabytes will be going on sale on September 13th. So yes, we'll be finding out at the end of the week how accurate this is. I mean, why not soon enough? But yeah, the leaker also states that despite the smaller SSD, the price of the PS5 Digital Edition will remain the same in Europe at €499. It's basically a way to reduce costs, to increase profit margins. I'm not sure how much cheaper an 825 gigabyte SSD is compared to 1TB for Sony, but I guess if it saves them $5, $10 a consoles when you're selling, millions and millions of consoles, that adds up over time. But anyways, that's going to do it for this little video here discussing mainly PS6 rumor that it'll include a detachable disk drive, much like the PS5 Slim. So you have a digital edition PS6 and a edition with a detachable disk drive. And obviously, if you buy the digital edition, you can buy the disk drive separately in the future if you choose so. Anyways, if you enjoyed this quick little video, be sure to click the like button. Be sure to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, and I am 300 and some odd away. I'm getting there. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you all next time for some more gaming news, gaming sales, and gaming industry information, and rumors, and leaks, and reports. Thank you all so much for watching.